हरिः ओम् नमः सर्वेभ्यः। अद्य कृदन्तप्रकरणस्य सप्तोत्तरशततमः पाठः। अस्मिन् वर्गे भविष्यति काले शत्रुशानच् प्रत्ययौ कथं प्रयुज्येते तस्मिन् विषये अध्ययनं करिष्यामः। प्रारम्भे वन्दनम्। येनाक्षरसमाम्नायमधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। मुनित्रयं नमस्कृत्य तदुक्तिः परिभाव्य च वैयाकरणसिद्धान्तकौमुदीयं विरच्यते. So in the previous class we started discussing the sutram tumunvalau kriyayam kriyarthayam bhavavachanascha ankarmani cha. And then I had actually planned Lut Sheshecha and Lutas Sadva in the previous class itself, but because of some connection issue, our class got terminated unexpectedly. Now, what was remaining in the previous class was just some 20-25 minutes of material on this Lut Sheshecha and Lutas Sadva. Now that I'm taking an extra class today, the good thing is that, or the boon in disguise is that I will be able to expand significantly more on these two sutras. So there was actually some crucial aspect of the bhashya that I was planning to quickly summarize, or I was planning to skip because of lack of time. Now I get a chance to spend around half an hour, 1 hour on that particular aspect of Bhashyam. Some very interesting discussion in the Bhashya we were about to skip because of lack of time. But as it turns out, we now have time. So in today's class, we will quickly discuss the Rutsheshecha and Rutas Sutram that was planned for the previous class. And then I'll expand with help of Bhashya and couple of other resources. And we will discuss some very interesting aspects about the Vikarana Pratyayas that appear when Lrut Lakara comes up. The Sya Vikarana Pratyaya that appears when Lrut Lakara comes up. There are some interesting things that I wanted to discuss. So let's start. So पूर्वस्मिन् वर्गे अण्कर्मणि च इति यावत् अस्माभिः सर्वं दृष्टम्. अग्रे अस्ति लृट् शेषे च तथा लृट् सद्वा. So लृट् शेषे च इति सूत्रेण लृट् इति लकारः भविष्यति काले पाठ्यते. So this word sheshe over here, it continues the context from the previous sutras. So in all the previous sutras, there is this context of kriyayam, which is coming up. This kriyayam is also there in bhavavachanascha. It is also there in ankarmanicha. And now we are saying the rut lakara can be used in kriyayam kriyarthayam context as well as in the other contexts. Rut sheshecha. So that's the first sutra in this particular context. Rut sheshecha. It basically defines the Rut lakara as a general lakara for Bhavishyat Kala that we all know. Karishyati, Patishyati, Gamishyati, and so on. These forms are to be considered valid for Kriyarthayam Kriyayam as well as for general Bhavishyat Kala. And then in the next sutram, this Rut lakara gets optionally converted to Sat pratyayas, which we already know as Satru and Shanach pratyayas. So let's actually take a quick recap on these Shatru and Shanach pratyayas. Whatever we have studied about these in the case of Bhavishyat Kala, Vartamane Lata Lata Shatru Shanachava Prathama Samanadhikarni इत्यस्मिन् सन्दर्भे अस्माभिः एतयोः प्रत्ययोः विषये यत् किमपि पठितमस्ति झटिति 5 निमेषेषु तस्य पुनरावर्तनं कृत्वा इदानीम् अग्रे सरामः. So we have come across these two pratyayas वर्तमाने लट इत्यस्य अध्ययन समये and then लट शत्रुशानचाव प्रथमा समानाधिकरणे इत्यस्य समये वर्तमाने लट इत्यनेन विहितस्य लट इति प्रत्ययस्य अप्रथमा सामानाधिकरण्यम् अस्ति चेत् शत्रु तथा शानच आदेशो भवतः. So if you remember, I also clearly showed a separation between Prathama Samanadhikaranyam, where Tibadeshas come as the Adesha, and the Aprathama Samanadhikaranyam, where the Shatru and Shanach Pratyayas come as the Adesha. So, Pachantam, Pachamanam va Devadattam Pasya, Ityatra Sarvatra, Atra Shatru Pratyayah, no chit Shanach Pratyayah, Aprathama Samanadhikarane Prayuktah asti, अतः अत्र एतादृशं द्वितीया तृतीया एतादृशं रूपं प्रयुक्तं दृश्यते. We also discussed about what happens in प्रथमा समानाधिकरणं. तत्र प्रथमा समानाधिकरणस्य विषये यद्यपि पाणिनिना तादृशः प्रयोगः नानुमन्यते, तथापि भाष्यकारेण तादृशस्य प्रयोगस्य अनुमतिः दत्ता अस्ति. तत् कथं तर्हि वर्तमाने लट इत्यत्र लट् इति स्वीकृतमस्ति, तथापि पुनः लटशत्रुशानचाव प्रथमा समानाधिकरणे इत्यत्रापि लट् इति ग्रहणं क्रियते. अतः लट् इति वर्तमाने पुनर्लट् ग्रहणम् अधिकविधानार्थं, लेट् मी जस्ट टेक द पॉइंटर. हाँ, लट् इति पुनर्ग्रहणम् अधिकविधानार्थं क्वचित् प्रथमा समानाधिकरण्ये अपि भवति. नो चेत् नन्वोर् विभाषा इत्यत्र विभाषा ग्रहणं स्वीक्रियते, that is considered as vyavasthita vibhasha. All these things we have studied in that particular context. The gist is that it will always happen in aprathama samanadhikaranyam, and sometimes based on the prayogas it can also happen in prathama samanadhikaranyam. So pachan devadattaha, pachamanaha devadattaha, all these prayogas are acceptable. संबोधनस्य विषये किं भवति? संबोधने च इति भिन्नं सूत्रमस्ति, तत्र शत्रुशानच् आदेशो भवितुम् अर्हतः. तदनन्तरं लक्षणं तथा हेतुः, एतयोः विषये अपि अस्माभिः भिन्नं सूत्रं दृष्टं. लक्षणहेतवोः क्रियायाः, सो शयानाः खादन्ति यवनाः, their lakshana, their characteristics is that they are lying down while eating. Or arjan vasati kashyam smaran muchyate harim. So all these examples for lakshana and hetu, hetu phalam tatha karanam, ubhayoho arthayoho asya prayogah kriyate. So all these examples we have particularly seen at the time of studying Shatru and Shanach. The reason why I'm reminding all this is that the same context appears in the Bhavishyat Kala also. Bhavishyat Kalasya विषये लृट् लकारस्य यदा शत्रु तथा शानच् आदेशौ भवतः, तदा उभयत्र अप्रथमा समानाधिकरणे नित्यं, प्रथमा समानाधिकरणे क्वचित्, संबोधने अपि भवन्ति, लक्षणे हेतौ च अपि भवन्ति. So all these context is going to reappear over there. There are no separate sutras, but the Vyakhyana will make it clear that all these context is going to reappear over there. So that is the part we will discuss in the initial part of half an hour of today's class. And then I would like to throw some more detailed discussion, do some more detailed discussion on the actual prakriya. So what happens in this prakriya is prarambhe tatra lat iti pratyaya vidhiyate, patha plus lat iti bhavati. Tatra lat ityasya shatru tatha shanach etau adesho bhavatah. So the steps in the prakriya are patha plus lat, then patha plus say shatru, and then looking at the sarvadhatuka pratyaya which is shatru over there, sarvadhatuke shapa. So kartari shapa ityanena tatra shapa iti vikarana pratyaya agacchati. So in the third step we have patha plus shapa plus shatru. I want you to focus on this particular ordering. प्रारंभे लट् प्रत्यय विधानम, तदनंतरम प्रत्यादेशः, तदनंतरम गणविकरणम, and we will compare and contrast this with what happens in case of the bhavishyat kala, in case of the lृट् lakara. So this all deal is basically, so this is an example on the last slide as I mentioned, pacha plus lata, pacha plus shatru, pacha plus shapa plus shatru. So this all is what we discussed for the Shatru and Shanach Pratyayas in case of Vartamana Kala. And now let's go to the Bhavishyat Kala, which is pretty much the same. I have already explained the meaning of Lrut Sheshecha. Please understand, Lrut Sheshecha technically is not a sutram in Kridanta Prakaranam. It is defining the Lakara Pratyaya. So लकार प्रत्ययः अस्ति तत्र तिङन्त प्रकरणे नो चेत् लकारार्थ प्रकरणे अस्य अध्ययनं क्रियते, परन्तु लृट् इत्यस्य अप्रथमा समानाधिकरणम् अस्ति चेत् शत्रुशानच् आदेशो भवतः, अतः इदानीम् अस्माभिः एतत् सूत्रं संक्षेपेण पठ्यते. सो तत्र काशिकां पठामः. भविष्यति इत्येव only in the bhavishyat kala he is reminding you of the context. Sheshaha kriyarthopapadad anyaha. So that's what I was saying, that we have the context of kriyarthayam coming over here, and shesha is other than this context. The reason why I'm stressing this again and again is that many people incorrectly think that there are two types of lakaras in the bhavishyat kala, the lut lakara and the lut lakara. So lut lakara is used in the anadyatana context, and when you say lut sheshecha, it will be used in the other context different than anadyatana. So that is not the correct understanding of this sutram. Sheshe over here does not mean other than anadyatana. The Anadyatana Sutra has not even been discussed till now. It will be 3.3.15. Lut Sheshechal Rutas Sadva Anadyatane Lut. So that sutra is still going to come. This Sheshe is not talking about other than Anadyatana. It is talking about other than Kriyarthayam Kriyayam. So that's exactly what is clarified by Kashika over here. भविष्यति इत्येव शेषः क्रियार्थोपपदाद् अन्यः शुद्धे भविष्यति काले chakarat kriyayam cha upapade. So whether you have kriyartha kriya and whether you don't have kriyartha kriya, in any of these cases, this particular lakara will be used. So kriyayam upapade तथा शुद्धे भविष्यति काले धातोः लृट् प्रत्ययः भवति करिष्यामि इति व्रजति हरिष्यामि इति व्रजति. So these are examples of the kriyartha kriya. Remember the example that we took in our class. पठिष्यति इति गच्छति, पठिष्यति इत्यर्थम गच्छति, पठिष्यति तदर्थम गच्छति. So that the reason why that particular vritti can exist is because you have lrut lakara permitted over there by the sutram lrut sheshecha. And then you have sheshe khalvapi, karishyati, harishati. So normal lrut lakara. न्यासं पठामः चकाराद् इत्यादि एतेन क्रियायां क्रियार्थायाम् इत्यस्य अनुकर्षणार्थः चकारः इति दर्शयति. सेल्फ एक्सप्लेनेटरी. कौमुदीं पठामः भविष्यत् अर्थात् धातोः लृट् स्यात् क्रियार्थायां क्रियायां सत्याम असत्यां च. So technically he is saying asatyam satyam cha स्यः इट्. So he is also explaining the prakriya. Sya asti tatra idagamah bhavitum arhati, bhavishyati, bhavishyatah, bhavishyati, and so on. So as I mentioned, this particular sutram comes in the lakara prakaranam in Kaumudi. So he is discussing the lakaras. The next sutram in this context is bhavishyati shatru and shanach pratyas given by lrut sheshecha. So lrut sheshecha ityanena भविष्यत् कालस्य निर्देशार्थम यहाँ लृट् प्रत्ययः तस्य शत्रु शानच आदेशो भवतः इयम अपि व्यवस्थित विभाषा. So there also from Nanvor Vibhasha we took the Vibhasha and we said it is Vyavasthita Vibhasha in case of Vartamana. Same thing is happening over here. Iyam api Vyavasthita Vibhasha. Here you don't need any anuvrutti. The Vibhasha word is right there sitting in the sutra. Lruta sad va. So Vyavasthita Vibhasha. What is the point of Vyavasthita Vibhasha? Remember, I am going to repeat the same thing. Dvitiya to Saptami Samanadhikaranyam asti chet compulsory. Prathama Samanadhikaranyam asti chet vikalpena. So yatra kriya dvitiya tritiya saptamyanta shabdena sahanveti tatra adesho nityam bhavataha. Yatra kriya prathamanta shabdena anveti tatra etau adesho vikalpena bhavataha. Important point or two important points to understand. First is pretty common, as I have been again and again explaining it for Vartamana Kala also. Shatru pratyay is parasmai pada samyaka, shanach pratyay is atmani pada samyaka. Those samyas will continue to remain over here. So patha plus lrutta ityatra kevalam patha plus shatru ityeva bhavati. Vanda plus lrutta ityatra vanda plus shanacha ityeva kevalam bhavati. कर्मणि शानच अस्ति चेत् अवश्यं तत्र पठ प्लस लृट इत्यस्य स्थाने अपि कर्मणि प्रयोगे पठ प्लस कर्मणि शानच इति भवितुम् अर्हति. And in the bhavishyat kala we have lrutta and lutta. We have two lakaras. Out of that only the lrutta lakara gets converted into the shatru and shanach adeshas. Lruttaha sadva iti sutramasti. So bhavishyati kale lut ityapi kashchan anya lakara pratyaya vidhiyate tasya atra shatru tatha shanach adesho na bhavatah. Few more things again in 30 seconds I want to go over this slide. अप्रथमा समानाधिकरणे भवति, विकल्पेन प्रथमा समानाधिकरणे भवति, संबोधने भवति, लक्षणे भवति, हेतौ भवति. All this is exactly the same. In the lower part of this slide, I have explained what happens in the case of Stri Pratyaya application or Subanta applications. Sometimes a Numagama comes, sometimes a Numagama not come. I have already discussed this. There is an article written by Soumyaji on our website. I have pointed you all to that particular article. We also discussed these aspects in details in one of our homework sessions. So these 3 bullets are just for your reference. Nothing new is present in these bullets. You can go over all these on your own. How the forms are created? Again, there is nothing rocket science over here. Patishati ithyasya sthane ta iti kurmah. Just one second. Similarly, syate ityasya sthane syamana iti kurmah. So the only difference that you have to understand is if idagama happens and somehow that sa becomes a sh because of idagama, then the na is going to become a na. So instead of mana, it will be mana. So for example, patishati will become patishyat, karishyati will become karishyat, or in the Atmanepada, it will become Karishyamana. So the only difference is na or na, but it has nothing to do with the direct formation or application of the Shanach Pratyaya. The general rule is very simple. You take the Prathama Purusha Ekvachana form, ti becomes ta, te becomes mana. That's simple technique to convert these forms into from Rut Lakara Prathama Purusha Ekvachanam to Shatru and Shanach. So with this background, I think we have everything that we want to know. Let's just go to the Vyakhyana. There are 1 or 2 points in the Vyakhyana which are worth pondering or thinking over. So let me just quickly run through. So Lrutasatva iti sutram. Lrutaha sthane satsamnyau shatrushanachau va bhavataha vyavasthita vibhasha iyam tena yatha lataha shatrushanachau tatha asya api bhavataha. That single statement captures everything. Whatever happens for the lat lakara transfer, whatever happens during the transformation of lat lakara to shatru and shanach, same thing will happen over here. Same cases, the lakshana, hetu, sambodhana, everything is also applicable. He clarifies, aprathama samanadhikaranadishu nityam anyatra vikalpaha karishantam devadattam pasya karishamanam devadattam pasya he karishamana and so on. Arjeshamano vasati prathama samanadhikarane vikalpaha karishan devadattaha karishamano devadattaha karishyati karishyate and so on. So there is a question over here. Uh, uh, So in the sutra Lrutas Sadva, does Sad indicate both Shatru and Shanaj? That is correct. So Sat is a combined term. How Nishtha is a combined term for Kta and Ktavatu. In the same way, Shatru and Shanaj, the combined term for that is Sada. So Tau Sata iti sutrena Sata ityanena Shatru tatha Shanaj ubhayoho nirdesha kriyate. It is a Vyakarana Vishishta Samnya. Let's first read Kaumudi and then I'll go to Nyasa because some very beautiful points have been illustrated in Nyasa. So Kaumudim Patamaha Vyavasthita Vibhasha Yam Tena Aprathama Samanadhikaranye Pratyottar Padayoscha Sambodhane Lakshana Hetuvoscha Kshamyatam Lakshana Hetuvoscha Nityam. So basically in single line he captures everything. Sambodhane Lakshana Hetuvo Pratyottar Padayo. There is a Vartika given in the Bhasha. So he also talks about that. करिष्यन्तं करिष्यमाणं पश्य करिष्यतः अपत्यं कारिष्यतः करिष्यत bhakti. So I'll come to these points in tomorrow's class also. For now you can just see that there are different ways. For example, karishyat iti tatra asti tasya bhinna prakarena upayogah tena krutah drishyate. So these two examples given in Siddhanta Kaumudi, karishyatah apatyam karishyatah and karishyat bhakti, are simply brilliant examples. And I'm going to park this point over here and we are going to spend one full class next class in understanding a big story behind these two examples. But I mean, these are kind of examples why we say Kaumudi Adi Adi Kanthastha Vrutha Bhashya Parishramah. Precise sense of Bhashya has been captured in these two examples over here. Only those who actually understand and study this can appreciate. We will do this in the next class, not today. So, He Karishan, अर्जयिष्यन् वसति, प्रथमा समानाधिकरणे अपि क्वचित् करिष्यति इति करिष्यन्. So everything has been captured very beautifully in this particular व्याख्या. Now let's look at न्यास. लृट् इति वर्तमाने पुनः लृड् ग्रहणं स्थानि निर्देशार्थम् इतरथा हि प्रत्ययान्तरत्वं सत्संज्ञकोः विज्ञायेत. What Nyasakara is trying to point us at is that look at the sequence of the sutras. It says Rut Sheshe Cha, and then again it uses the word Ruttaha Sadva. Why cannot he just say Sadva? Rut Sheshe Cha Sadva. Iti kimartham nochate. Rut Sheshe Cha Ruttaha Sadva. Punarekvaram Rut ityasa grahanam kimartham kriyate. So then Nyasakara explains Rut iti vartamane. Vartamane means anuvartamane. Rut ityasa anuvrittihi kriyate tathapi punaha rud grahanam bhavati sthani nirdeshartham कस्य स्थाने सद आदेशः भवति इति निर्देशार्थम इतरथा हि प्रत्ययान्तरत्वं सत्संज्ञकोः विज्ञायेत. He does not want the pratyas to be directly applied in the sheshe context. He wants these pratyas to be applied as adeshas of rut. If you just say rut sheshe cha sadva, it will probably mean rut sheshe cha and sadva sheshe cha. So in the shesha context, vikalpena shatrushanach pratyyo bhavatah iti arthah nasti. एतौ प्रत्ययु लकारस्यैव आदेशरूपेण भवतः इति आवश्यकम्. किमर्थं लकारस्यैव आदेशरूपेण एतयोः विधानं क्रियते? परस्मैपदात्मनेपदसंज्ञा विधानार्थम्. So satsamnyakor vidhayeta. And he gives another example. Run matrasya yatha syad. So you don't want these adeshas for the lutta lakara. You only want these adeshas for the rutta lakara. So run matrasya eva yatha syad. Tena yaha anadyatane rut tasyapi bhavataha. Very beautiful point. What he is saying is this rutasadva explicitly says that the sat adeshas are only for the rut lakara. Where is rut lakara used? Rut lakara is used in the shesha context, which is kriyartha kriya context and all other bhavishyati contexts. Having said that, in a minute he will teach us anadyatane lut, which will tell us lut lakarasya prayogah anadyatane bhavishyati kale bhavati. This lut lakar will override the rut lakar, so rut lakar will not come in the anadyatana bhavishyat kala. I also explained this point in the previous class. Shwaha aham pathishyami iti vakyam vyakarana drishtya asadhu asti. Kimartham? Aham pathishyami ityatra लृट् प्रयोगस्य अनुमतिः अस्ति, परन्तु श्वः इति प्रयोगः क्रियते चेत् तत्र अनद्यतन भविष्यत् कालः अस्ति. तत्र लृट् शेषस्य इत्यनेन प्राप्तः लृट् लकारः अग्रे अनद्यतने लुट् इत्यनेन बाध्यते. अतः श्वः अहं पठितास्मि, श्वः सः गन्ता, तत्र सर्वत्र लुट् लकारस्यैव प्रयोगः करणीयः. In other cases, basically today, later in the day, if that kind of bhavishyat kala is what you are talking about, then there is no overriding for rut lakara. So rut lakara can come without any problem. However, what rutas sadva is saying is that wherever rut lakara comes, the sat pratyas, the shatru and the shanach adeshas can come for the aprathama samanadhikaranam. This wherever root lakar come has a very beautiful silver tinge over there. Sometimes what happens is root lakara can also come in anadyatana bhavishyat kala. So even though the lut lakara is defined in anadyatana bhavishyat kala, Bhashyakara proposes a yoga vibhaga over there. He says anadyatane iti prathak kurmaha, lut iti prathak kurmaha. So anadyatane iti prathak rupena sutram tatra sthapyate chet lrut ityasya tatra anuvrittihi bhavitum arhati. Atah kutrachit anadyatana bhavishyat kale api lrut pratyah bhavati. So somewhere, mostly in the Vedic context, but other than that also, you do see lrut lakara used in the anadyatana bhavishyat kala also. technically it should be lut lakara, but you see the usage of lut lakara. That particular thing has been justified by doing a yoga vibhaga of anadyatane lut. So anadyatane lut, it's not there on the screen because it's not part of Kridanta Prakaranam, but anadyatane lut, I can actually show it if people would like to visualize. So here, immediate after the next sutram in Lutta Sadva is Anadyatane Lutta. So this Anadyatane Lutta sutram, he proposes a yoga vibhaga. Now I don't remember if it's directly in the Bhashya or one of the other commentaries, but he proposes a yoga vibhaga over there and says Anadyatane iti bhinnam sutram tatra lut ityasya anuvrittim kurmaha yena kutrachin anadyatane bhavishyati kale api lut lakaraha bhavati. So anadyatane bhavishyati kale api lut lakaraha bhavati, and that root can also get converted to sat. So that's what Nyasakara is pointing. The reason why root is being converted is to sat is that yaha anadyatane root tasya api bhavataha shwaha agnina adhasyamanena iti. So dhasyamana or adhasyamana ityatra लृट् लकारः अनद्यतनकाले श्वः इति अस्ति, अनद्यतनकाले कृतः अस्ति. So in the bhavishyat kala, wherever lृट् lakara has been used, it can be in the anadyatana bhavishyat kala as guaranteed or as provided, supported by the yoga vibhaga, or the normal bhavishyat kala, you can always convert into shatru and shanach. So that's what he clarifies. Anadyatane tatra lृट् katham bhavati उत्तर सूत्रे अनद्यतन इति योग विभागात् भवति इति वेदितव्यम. That's what I was mentioning 2 minutes ago. उत्तर सूत्रे इत्युक्ते अनद्यतने लुट् इत्यस्मिन् सूत्रे अनद्यतन इति योग विभागात् भवति इति वेदितव्यम. And lut lakara, wherever it is happening, appearing somewhere else, if it is outside the bhavishyati adhikara, tatra tu sat adeshau na bhavatah. So he makes it clear somewhere in 32112 also we have abhidnya vachanel rut. Abhidnya vachanel rut tatra yaha rut iti lakaraha nirdishtah asti saha bhavishyati adhikare nasti. Bhavishyati starts at 3.3.1. So 3.2 इत्यत्र पाठितः लृट् लकारः भविष्यति काले नास्ति, अतः तत्र शत्रु तथा शानच आदेशो न भवतः. So the only reason why I explained this Nyasa commentary over here is because it shows this particular aspect that Rut Lakara can also sometimes be used in the Anadyatana Bhavishyat Kala, where it is actually a property or proprietary place for the Lut Lakara, but you do see usages of the Rut Lakara. Obviously, it does not give us the permission to use Rut Lakara wherever we want. Technically speaking, Rut Lakara should be reserved for non-Anadyatana use cases only. But as I mentioned, uh, the times usually changes. In order to simplify the language, there are certain what can we say, convenient things for convenience that we do, and this has been one of these in the whatever current decades or few decades and so on. Anyway, so this actually completes our discussion of this Lruta Sadva. And had all this been done in the previous class, I would have declared that we are done with the Bhavishyat Kala Nirdeshakaha. But thankfully now, as I mentioned, it was a boon in disguise. Some problem happened last time. So now I have 1 full hour now to discuss some significant aspects of Bhashya associated with this Lut Lakara and the Sya Vikarana Pratyaya that comes in the Lut Lakara. Some very beautiful and equally complex aspects have been discussed, which I will unreveal, or which I will, further elaborate in next 1 hour. So basically, whether it is a lat lakara or whether it is a rut lakara, anytime you have the shatru pratyaya, there will always be a vikarana pratyaya after that. So in the lat lakara, you say patha plus lata becomes a shatru, and then you have a shapa vikarana pratyaya over there. This is called a gana vikarana pratyaya, because this will differ from gana to gana. Tatra kru asti chet u iti pratyaya bhavet. Tatra jna asti chet shna iti pratyaya bhavet. So all these are gana vikarana pratyayas. When it comes to लृट् लकार, लृट् इत्यस्य शत्रु आदेशः क्रियते चेत् तत्र नित्यं स्य इति विकरण प्रत्ययः गच्छति. तत्र गणानुसारं प्रत्ययस्य पृथग् रूपेण विधानं न क्रियते. सर्वेषां गणानां धातूनां विषये तत्र स्य प्रत्ययः एव आगच्छति. अतः अयं लकार प्रत्ययः नाम्ना ज्ञायते. It is specific to the lakara, so we call it a lakara pratyaya. And as such, accordingly, all these lakara pratyayas and the vikarana pratyayas have been enumerated in the beginning part of pratyadhikara in complete sequence, starting from 3133 syatasil rulutoho sibbahulam leti kas pratyadama mantre liti and so on up to 3186 linyashishang. So chandasi shayajapi vyatyayo bahulam linyashisham. So starting with 3133 setasil rulutoho, this entire section will list all these vikarana pratyas, which obviously include the lakara vikarana pratyas, which are 10 in number, and gana vikarana pratyas, which are 11 in number. So a total of 21 vikarana pratyas have been defined. So some of these might look familiar to you. So sya is used in the bhavishyat kala, tas is used in the lut lakara. So ganta, gantaro, gantaraha are the forms. Sip is used in the late lakara, which is only specific to Vedas. Most of you might be knowing this is related to Kathayamasa, Chorayamasa, and so on. Lit Lakara for Pratyayanta Dhatus. In Lung Lakara, there is a Chli Pratyay which is further converted to multiple Adeshas. So all these are related to Lakaras. Specifically, when that Lakara comes, this Pratyaya is seen. On the other hand, there are around 11 other, not around, exactly 11 other pratyayas. These are used for the specific ganas and they are used only in the sarvadhatuka sense. So ekadasha gana vikarana pratyayaha kevalam sarvadhatuka pratyasya upasthito vidhiyante. Tatra yak इति प्रत्ययः भावकर्मणोः भवति. शप इति प्रत्ययः कर्तरि भवति औत्सर्गिकरूपेण, and that is further blocked by shan, shnu, sh, shnam and so on. So all of us are familiar with this. There is a shanach pratyaya which is also a gana vikarana pratyaya, which is different than the pratyaya that we are seeing right now. Just give me 1 minute. So this shanach pratyaya is obviously different. It is a vikarana pratyaya. It is different than the pratyaya that we are currently seeing. There is another called shayacha. There is another called ang. So some of these might not be familiar. Most of these should be familiar. So these are 11 gana vikarana pratyayas. So what we have to remember at this point, tatra sarvadhatuka pratyaya asti chet gana vikarana pratyaya bhavati. All of us, I mean all of you are expected to know this by heart. And tatra आर्धधातुक प्रत्यय अस्ति चेत् नो चेत् लकार विशिष्टः लकारः अस्ति, लृट् लकारः, लृङ् लकारः, लुट् लकारः and so on, then you get a specific lakara vikarana pratyaya. That is the reason why sya comes for all the dhatus, whereas shapa will only come for vadi ganas and shana will only come for divadi ganas, and that also in case of the sarvadhatuka pratyayas. So far so good. Now let's ask an interesting question which, a significant discussion has been done in bhashya. So the question that we want to ask is that this vikarana pratyaya, whichever it might be, it can be the lakara vikarana pratyaya or it can be the gana vikarana pratyaya. This vikarana pratyaya prakriyayam ayam vikarana pratyaya kada vidhiyate. Prakriyayam vikarana pratyaya vidhanam kada bhavati. And let's jot down in details, discuss in details. Prakriyayam gana vikaranasya vidhanam kada bhavati. Gana vikaranam is those kartari, shapa, divadibhyashan and so on. And prakriyayam lakara vikarananam vidhanam kada bhavati. So when each of these are to be added in the prakriya. Let's start with a simple thing first. Gana vikaranam vishe asmabhi kim drushtam tatra sarvadhatuka pratyayah asti chet gana vikaranam bhavati. So patha plus lata इत्यस्याम् अवस्थायां तत्र गणविकरणस्य प्राप्तिरेव नास्ति. किमर्थं नास्ति? लट् इति सार्वधातुकप्रत्ययः न. It is neither a ting pratyaya nor a shit pratyaya. So it is not a sarvadhatuka pratyaya, and therefore there is no way you can add gana vikaranam over there. Only when that letter gets converted to tip or shatru or whatever, and when that new pratyaya becomes a sarvadhatuka pratyaya, only then the gana vikarana can come. So सर्वे गण प्रत्यय गण विकरण प्रत्ययाः सार्वधातुक प्रत्ययस्य उपस्थितौ एव विधीयन्ते. अतः प्रक्रियायां लकार प्रत्ययस्य आदौ सार्वधातुक संज्ञकः आदेशः, तदनन्तरं गण विकरण प्रत्ययस्य विधानम्. So patha plus latta will give patha plus tipa, and then you will get patha plus shapa plus tipa. If it is a different dhatu, say ashtamaganasya kru dhatu, kru plus latta, kru plus shanacha, kru plus u plus shanacha. So this is what I was mentioning in the first slide. Remember this particular sequence. First is the lakara, second is the tibadesha, third is the ganavikarana. The things start becoming more colorful, more interesting when we go to the lakara vikaranas. Tatra lakara vikarananam vishe kim bhavati? तत्र लादेशात् अनन्तरं विकरण प्रत्यय विधानं भवितुम् अर्हति. सो पठ प्लस लृट इत्यत्र पठ प्लस शत्रु इति प्रारंभे कुर्मः. Ladesha means what? The adesha of the lakara. So Rut will become Shatru, just like what is happening over here. Nruta is becoming Shatru. In the same way, sorry, Nruta is followed by a Shatru. Lat is becoming Shatru. So in the same way, Rut will become Shatru, and then you apply Siya. So exactly like how it happens for the Gana Vikaranas, you can opt to add the Lakara Vikarana Pratyaya after the corresponding Adesha has been done. But that's not a compulsion over here. Earlier it was a compulsion. Earlier it was not a choice. It was forced upon us, because only when tip becomes a sarvadhatuka, only then shap can come. You don't have a choice. परंतु अत्र तादृशं नास्ति. अत्र अयं स्य प्रत्ययः शत्रु प्रत्ययस्य सार्वधातुकत्वं दृष्ट्वा तत्र न आगच्छति, अपि तु अयं लकार विकरण प्रत्ययः अस्ति, रकारस्य विषये सर्वत्र आगच्छति. सो लृट् इति अस्ति चेत् स्य इति भवति एव. तत्र लृट् इत्यस्य अग्रे आदेशः भवेत् उत न भवेत्, अत्र लृट् भवति चेत् स्य भवेदेव. So we actually have another option. Ut ladeshat purvam api vikarana pratyaya bhavitum arhati. So you can have patha plus lruta, patha plus sya plus lruta. Understand, ruta is not even touched. There is a sya immediately added inside, and then you can convert lruta to shatru. Similarly, if it's a karmalil rutta, you can add a sya over here and then convert rutta to shanach. So essentially, you have two different choices. Unlike the Gana Vikaranas, where it was obligatory to add shap in the third step after doing tippa or shatru, you don't have that force over here. You can do either way. So the question proposed by the Bhashyakara, or question discussed in the Bhashya, is that prakriyayam lakara vikarananam vidhanam kada bhavati, ladeshad anantaram bhavati, uta ladeshad purvam bhavati, iti tatra. Which of these boxes is correct? Iti tatra prashnaha. Now it turns out that Bhashyakara gives three different answers to this question. In two out of these three answers, he justifies the first box. He says you can do the Vikarana Pratyaya after the Ladesha. He proposes two different ways. I mean, on the face of it, it's just a choice. But once we start digging deeper into details, we are going to see problems in each of these. So then Bhashyakara, finds the solutions on these problems. Some other problems will crop up, their solution he will propose, and so on. So after some kind of intense discussion, he is going to propose three different solutions. Two of these solutions will be based on the first rectangle. So in those two solutions, Nadeshat Anantaram Tatra Vikarana Pratyaya Bhavitum Arhati. In the third solution, he proposes the solution of the second rectangle. Ladeshat Purvam Tatra Vikarana Pratyaya Bhavati. So he does not choose any of these. He just basically says three of them. it appears that he is kind of inclined towards the third, but it does not, I mean, it is not a sufficient argument to say that the first and the second are wrong. So he puts forth all the three arguments on the table. He is slightly inclined towards third, but he equally well justifies the first and the second argument. Kayyata chooses the first of the three. So if you look at Kayyata in Pradipodhyota, he'll choose the first of the three. Bhattoji Dikshita appears to choose the first of the three. There are further debates on how to interpret certain statements of Bhattoji Dikshita in Siddhanta Kaumudi, but we will keep those discussions aside for now. But Bhattoji Dikshita also appears to choose the first of the three. Interestingly, Nagesha chooses the third of these three. So Nagesha says that out of these three proposals that the Bhashyakara has given, the third proposal is the most correct, and we will use that. Now, you are free to choose whosoever side you want to take. I mean, you can take Kayyata's side, you can take Nagesha's side, whatever. But typically these days, when we say Navya Vayyakaranaha, the Navyas, as the typically term indicates, it is basically the ones who usually follow the Nagesha's tradition. Of course, this statement has to be taken with a pinch of salt. But Prachinaha and Navyaha, this particular distinction is usually done to distinguish between followers of Kayyata versus followers of Nagesha. So from the Navya's point of view, the final conclusion that we will stay with in our presentation is that we will choose the third of these three solutions. So I'm just giving a high level view, a quick background, so that when we start going down into details, you will understand where we are. So Agrima Patre, on the next slide, here is the Prathama Samadhanam. So we will talk about the first approach, then we will talk about the second approach, and then we will talk about the third approach. Before we jump into this, I want it to be clarified here, right here, that none of these has been rejected by the Bhashyakara. All these three have been put on the table and Bhashyakara proceeds ahead. Nagesha decides to pick the third one, and therefore, as Navya Vayyakaranaha, some weightage, extra weightage one might give to the third approach. So tatra prarabhamahe. Now starts some very interesting discussion. So tatra we start with the question that we have on the table. Prakriyayam vikarana pratyayaha kada vidhiyante? Ladeshad anantaram vidhiyante uta ladeshad purvam vidhiyante? Iti prashnaha. Are the vikarana pratyayas added after the ladeshas, like what happens in the gana vikarana, or the purva before ladeshas? The choice that we have. So when you say vikarana pratyaha kada vidhiyante, the question is generic, whether it's gana vikarana pratyaya or lakara vikarana pratyaya. So Acharya immediately clarifies, gana vikarana pratyaya asti chet ladeshad anantaram. You don't have a choice. Taihi sarvadhatuka pratyaya apekshate. You have a choice for the lakara vikarana pratyayas. So let us assume that lakara vikarana pratyayas also appear after the ladeshas. It's simple. It's simple to remember, right? If we say all the vikarana pratyayas appear at one and the same time during the prakriya, it's easy to remember. So ataha lakara vikarana pratyaya api saukaryartham, purely for the ease of understanding, ladeshat anantarameva bhaveyuhu. So you have patha plus lruta. Lruta will get converted to shatru. You have patha plus shatru, and then you add a sya over there, patha plus sya plus shatru. So far so good, but now there is a problem. That's what being pointed by the student. The student says that patha plus luta ityatra lutasadva iti patha plus shatru iti yada parivartanam bhavati, lut gets converted to shatru. So at this particular point in time, it is not easy to add a sya pratyay over there. It is actually a competition. You also have kartari shapa, which is coming up. Why? Because now this is a sarvadhatuka pratyaya. Shapa pratyaya is used in the sarvadhatuka kartari sense. So patha plus shatru ityatra yatha lrut lakara vishishtaha sya pratyah bhavitum arhati, tathaiva कर्तरि सार्वधातुक विशिष्टः शप प्रत्ययः अपि भवितुम् अर्हति. सो पठ प्लस शत्रु इत्यस्य विषये स्यतासील रुलुटोः इत्यनेन स्य प्रत्ययः कर्तरि शप इत्यनेन शप प्रत्ययः द्वयोः अपि प्राप्तिः अस्ति. The student then gives immediately another example. If you say karmani lrut lakara, Instead of kartaril rutta, if you say karmanil rutta, because this rutta is kartari, that's why kartari shapa ityanena shap pratyaya bhavati. What would happen if you do a karmanil rutta? So if you do a karmanil rutta, then obviously sya pratyaya is one candidate. For example, the rutta will get converted to shanach, and then sya pratyaya is definitely one candidate, syatasil rutoho, and then yakka pratyaya is another candidate. In the karmani prayoga, there will be yakka, pathyate or patishyate. पठिष्यते इत्यस्य रूपसिद्धौ परन्तु तत्र प्रयोगः पठ्यते इत्यत्र दृश्यते. सो पठ्यते, लिख्यते, गम्यते, ज्ञायते, सर्वत्र यक इति प्रत्ययः तत्र अस्ति किल. that pratyaya is in the karmani sarvadhatuka case. So here when you convert karmanil rutta to karmani shanach, now you have a karmani sarvadhatuka pratyaya. So you have a sarvadhatuke yaka iti yaka pratyaya prapnoti. So whether it is kartaril rutta or whether it is karmanil rutta, the life is not simple. In case of kartaril rutta, there is a competition between, just 1 second. There is a competition between, in case of kartari prayoga, there is a competition between the shatru pratyaya and there is a competition between the sya pratyaya and the shatru and the shapa pratyaya. In case of karmanil rutta, there is a competition between the sya pratyaya and yaka pratyaya. So now what the student says is that in order to understand which of these we have to choose, we somehow need to decide the badhya badhaka bhava. We somehow need to decide their mutual importance. So tatra etesham vikarna pratyayana badhya badhaka bhavaha katham jnatavyah. When you have multiple vikarna pratyayas acting at the same time, you need to decide which is more important. Badhya badhaka bhavaha katham jnatavyah. So then what Acharya does is Acharya looks at this last example and he says that here Acharya kind of ignores the first example. He looks at the second example and he says that atra kim asti sya iti pratyayah tatha yaka iti pratyayah etayoho madhye tatra conflict asti kila tarhi. I propose this is what he says. Sarvadhatuke yaka ityanena nirdishtaha yak pratyayah utsargaha अन्ये सर्वे अपवादाः. So he says anyway you need some badhya badhaka, right? So here is what I will grant you. Let's go on the previous slide and I'll show you what he's exactly saying. What he's saying in this context is that this yaka pratyaya is the utsarga. Bhava karmanoho vihitaha yaka pratyaya utsargaha asti. Whatever is there before that, all the lakara vikaranas, and whatever is there after that are all its apavadas. So that is what is proposed by the Bhashyakara. Obviously, this proposal is incorrect because this proposal might solve the problem of Karmani Shanach, but it does not solve the problem of Kartari Ilrutta. So Karmani Ilrutta ityasya Karmani Shanach iti bhavati chet tatra yakka tatha sya etayor madhye conflict asti. Tatra anena samadhanena yaka ityasya apekshaya sya pratyah bhavitum arhati. So if you clearly say yaka is the utsarga and all other are the apavadas, then in the case of karmani where the conflict was between sya and yaka, obviously sya will win. But that we also had a case of kartaril rutta where the conflict was between sya and shapa. So that conflict is not answered by this particular argument. Why? Because then shapa is also one apavada, sya is also another apavada. So our problem remains. Now there is a fight between sya and shapa, which are actually two apavadas of yaka, and then there will be vipratishedhe param karyam. So shapa comes later on, sya comes earlier. We can demonstrate that there is a vipratishedha. Eventually, we will be forced to apply shapa. So patha plus rutta, kartanil rutta, ityatra tatra shapa iti pratyaya bhavet. So that's what the student immediately points out. So student says, if you do like this, whatever you suggest just now, then problem might be solved for sya versus yaka, but problem will not be solved for shapa versus sya. So shapa tatha sya, now both of these are apavadas. Etayor madhye vipratishedha bhavet. So what is vipratishedha? Anyatra prapti. Each of these should have anyatra prapti and then there should be yugapat sambhavaha. And then they must be applicable simultaneously at one place. सो एवं क्रियते चेत् शप् प्रत्ययः स्य प्रत्यय एतयोर्मध्ये विप्रतिषेधः भवति. सो शप् प्रत्ययस्य अन्यत्र अवकाशः अस्ति, स्य प्रत्ययस्य अन्यत्र अवकाशः अस्ति. सो शप् प्रत्ययस्य सामान्य लट् लकारे अवकाशः अस्ति, तत्र स्य प्रत्ययस्य प्राप्तिर्नास्ति. स्य प्रत्ययस्य अवकाशः कर्मणि लृट्, जस्ट नाउ वी सॉ, तत्र शप् प्रत्ययस्य प्राप्तिः नास्ति. You can go over these lines in detail. They need to be worked out with pen and paper. And obviously there is a yugapat prapti for lृट्. So if lृट् becomes shatru, then patha plus shatru इत्यत्र कर्तरि शप इति शप् प्रत्ययः अपि भवति, सतासिल लृटोः इति स्य प्रत्ययः अपि भवति. Now there is a yugapat prapti, is essentially the same example over here. patha plus lृट् इत्यत्र स्य प्रत्यय अपि भवति, शत्रु आदेशे कृते स्य प्रत्यय अपि भवति, शप् प्रत्यय भवति अपि भवति. There is a simultaneous application, and now unfortunately you are forced to apply vipratishedhe param karyam. So you will be forced to do a shap pratyaya in patha plus lृट्. You should actually be doing a sya pratyaya. So that solution doesn't really, is not complete. He's not saying it is wrong. It is obviously a correct solution because it fixes the second part of the problem. It is still not fixing the first part of the problem. It is fixing the second part of the problem. And moreover, there is another anomaly, there is another incorrect uh, instance or a point in that particular solution. And that point is that Bhashyakara is proposing that yaka pratyaya iti utsargaha asti, shapa pratyaya iti apavadaha asti. But that does not make any sense because yaka pratyaya is told in the bhava karmano sense. Bhava karmano ho yaka and kartari shapa. So remember the sutra chinte bhava karmano ho sarvadhatuke yaka kartari shapa. So yaka is used in the bhava karmano sense. Shapa is used in the kartari sense. Their fields do not even overlap. One is used in the karmani sense, other is used in the kartari sense. How can one of them be apavada or utsarga of another? Utsarga apavada relationship makes sense only when the fields have to be overlapping. It has to be a complete superset subset relationship, and only then utsarga apavada will make sense. Here the fields of operation are completely different. Yaka is applicable on karmani prayogas and bhave prayogas. Shapa is applicable on kartari prayogas, and that's exactly the anuvrittis tell us. So here, if you see, let me directly point to the sutram. Look at this. Chin bhava karmanoho, and bhava karmano comes as an anuvritti in the sarvadhatuke yaka. So yaka is always in bhava karmanoho. And shapa, bhava karmano does not come, but kartari is there. So shapa is in kartari. So completely two different fields of operations. There is no way you can have utsarga pavada. So that is the second point that the student immediately points out. Kincha yak pratyayah utsargah तथा शबादयः अपवादः इत्यपि न संगच्छते. संगच्छते basically means does not resonate, make sense. यक् प्रत्ययः भावकर्मणोः उक्तः अस्ति, शबादयः कर्तरि उक्ताः सन्ति, उभयोः कार्यक्षेत्रे भिन्ने, द्वयोर्मध्ये उत्सर्गापवाद सम्बन्धः कथम्. And then by listening to this, Bhashyakara immediately rectifies his arguments. He says, okay, if Shapa and Yakka are two different entities, make both of them Utsargas. You are saying their fields don't overlap, right? So the conclusion is that make Yakka as the Utsarga, Shapa as another Utsarga, and all the remaining Pratyayas as simultaneous Apavadas of both the Utsargas. So in the bhava karmanoho sense, all other pratyayas are apavadas of yaka. In the kartari sense, all other pratyayas are apavadas of shapa. So shapa and yaka make them two different nodes, two different utsargas. And if it is a bhava karmani context, all other pratyayas will be apavadas of yaka. If it is a kartari context, all other pratyayas are apavadas of shapa. So that's exactly what immediately he clarifies. Bhava karmanoho prayoge yaka iti utsargaha. कर्तरी प्रयोगे शप इति उत्सर्गः. अन्ये सर्वे प्रत्ययः, so शन्नादयः प्रत्ययः, स्यादयः प्रत्ययः. Why does he use these two terms? Let's go back and understand. Shannadayah is starting with this shan, all the remaining. Now remember, we have isolated the two pratyayas yak and shapa. So these yaka and shapa will create two divisions. The second division will be called Shan and others, which is Shannadaya. The previous division will be called Sya and others, which is Syadaya. So then he says Shannadaya and Syadaya. So somebody just now saying that two different utsargas actually solves a lot of problem. Let's hold and understand the full argument. So, but this is a very obvious solution over here, that we have two different utsargas and then make all of them apavadas. Shabadayaha, Shanna, next slide. Shannadayaha and Syadayaha, both of them have utsarga, have apavadas. So what is happening with this? With this, both the problems on the previous slide are solved. Now in Patha plus Silrutta, when you have Shatru Adesha done and Patha plus Shatru is obtained, at this point in time, you have a competition between Sya and Shapa. And now you know Sya is Apavada, Shapa is Utsarga. So Sya will come, correct form will be generated. In Patha plus Karmani Lutta, once you do the Adesha, it will be Patha plus Shanacha. Again, now you know that there is a competition between Yaka and Sya. Yaka is Utsarga, Sya is Apavada. Sya will come. So this problem is also fixed. The problem now comes for the verbs of other ganas. Understand this very beautiful point. Evam kriyate chet, evam means whatever two utsarga thing was proposed. Evam kriyate chet, shan pratyayah तथा स्य प्रत्ययः एतयोर मध्ये विप्रतिषेधः भवति. So now see what is happening. He is exactly using the same argument. Let me explain this once again slowly, because the way arguments come up out of this is very logical. First, Bhashyakara created only Yaka as the Utsarga. As soon as the Yaka was Utsarga, the student pointed out a problem between Shapa and Sya. Student said that Sya and Shapa. The student said that Sya and Shapa etayor madhye conflict bhavati, that will be a problem. So then Bhashyakara took Shap out. So Bhashyakara took Shap out of that bracket and said Yak and Shapa, both of these are Utsarga. But the logic of the argument will continue to remain. So now all that the student has to do is student has to take the Sya Pratyaya and compare it with Shan Pratyaya. So now same problem where Sya and Shapa had Vipratished and therefore Shapa was taking the precedence. Same argument now can be used between Sya and Shana. All that you have to do is pick a dhatu of Divadigana. So that's what the student is doing. All this needs pen and paper, and then it will be thoroughly clear. It might not be clear in just one understanding, one class like this. So, but he is applying exactly the same argument. Instead of Shapa and Sya, now he shows Vipratished of Shana and Sya. Shan iti pratyasya avakashah दिवादिगणस्य धातोः लट् लकारस्य विषये, स्य प्रत्ययस्य अवकाशः same कर्मणि लृट् इत्यस्य विषये. Exactly the same argument of the previous slide, except for patha I have used nrita. And then ubhayoho yugavat praptihi and so on. And therefore again the problem is that in case of nrita plus lrita, once nrita becomes shatru, अत्र शप इति प्रत्ययं बाधित्वा दिवादिभ्यः शन इति शन प्रत्ययः अपि प्राप्नोति, तथा शप इति प्रत्ययं बाधित्वा स्य प्रत्यय इति प्राप्नोति. So shapa in both the cases, shapa can be, I mean in nrita plus shatru, from one point shapa can be blocked by shan because it is sarvadhatuka kartari sense. In a different angle, that shapa can be blocked by sya because it is lrut lakara. So again there is a conflict between sya and shana, and then now vipratished param karyam will force you a shana over here. So the solution that proposed by Bhashyakara, even though it solves the previous two cases, it brings up a new problem for the Divadigana. And then the Bhashyakara gives his final verdict, final statement. Understand this very carefully. So Acharya agrees to this problem, and then he says, listen what I'm saying. Etadrisham manyamahe bhava karmanoho prayoge yak pratyayah utsargaha kartari prayoge shap pratyayah utsargaha. So far so good. We have two utsargas. We will keep them as it is. Syadayah etayoho apavadaha. What we were talking, we were saying, let's go back to that previous slide again. We were saying that we have two different utsargas. So far so good. These syadis will be apavadas of both of them. So far so good. But what change I am proposing now? Bhashakara is saying, what change I am proposing now? These shannadayaha, they are not apavadas of yak. They are only the apavadas of shapa. So shannadayaha ete shapa ityasya apavadaha. Shannadis are not the apavadas of yaka. Shannadis are the apavadas of shapa. How does that actually solve the problem? In the current case, when we had nruta plus lruta, and lruta was becoming shatru, it's actually there on the slide. Nruta plus lruta, nruta becomes shatru. Now at this point in time, the competition is only between shapa and sya. The shana does not come in the picture because shana will come only after shapa wins. Shan is an apavada of shapa. So only when shap wins and shap says that I will come now, shan will come and say I am your apavada, I will replace you. But till shap is winning, there is no way, there is no place for shan to come over there. So at this particular point in time, Nruta plus Lruta, when Lruta becomes Shatru, the competition over here is between Shapa and Sya. Shana is not even in the picture. The competition is between Shapa and Sya. And Sya is obviously an apavada of Shapa. So Sya wins over Shapa. Shan doesn't even come in the picture. So idanim nruta plus lruta ityatra shap प्रत्ययं बाधित्वा अपवाद स्वरूपः स्य प्रत्यय संभवति तत्र शन प्रत्ययस्य अवकाशः एव नास्ति. So this is the first paksha that is given by the Bhashyakara. As I mentioned, this paksha favors the fact that all the Vikarana Pratyayas are to be attached at the same time after the Tibadis or after the Adeshas, Ladeshas are done. So after the letter or a root get converted to either the Tibadis or Shatrushanach, we will do an appropriate Vikarana Pratyaya. And the way to decide that Vikarana Pratyaya is to say Yaka Pratyaya is Utsarga, Shapa Pratyaya is another Utsarga, Syadis are apavadas of both of them, Shannadis are apavadas of Shapa. This is pretty intense, pretty complex. I do not expect all of you to or any of you to understand it. I required 4 to 5 readings with pen and paper, working out various possible examples, and only then I understood all these things. So please make sure to use a pen and paper and work these things out later on, because once it is clear for once, you will never get confused. But till that time, it will always keep on bothering it, because some or the other thing is definitely not clear, I'm sure, at this stage. But this is the first paksha. What is the first paksha? There are two utsargas. Syadis are apavadas of both of them, and shannadis are apavadas of shapa. That is the first solution. Now it turns out, as I mentioned, there are two more solutions in this particular problem. The second solution is actually easy. The second and third both are kind of easy. The second solution is that vikarana pratyeshu kopi utsargapavada sambandha nasti. So what Bhashyakara proposes is that you start by asking. So look at it. What is the question that was being asked before even the Prathamam Samadhanam? What was the question that we are asking? The question that we are asking is Vikarana Pratyeshu Badhya Badhaka Bhavaha Katham Vidyate. Who is the Utsarga? Who is the Apavada? And so on. And in this second solution, the Bhashyakara says, let's assume that there is no Utsarga Apavada Sambandha. There is absolutely no Utsarga Apavada Sambandha, and you do not need Utsarga Apavada Sambandha because there is no competition at all. When you need Utsargapavada Sambandha, when there is a simultaneous application, Yugapat Prapti Asti, Tatra Utsargapavada Sambandhasya Chinta Karaniya. What I am proposing is a new mechanism where there will be absolutely no conflict. How nice. And what is the proposal? The proposal is that you add appropriate pratyayas as anuvrittis in all other cases. So he says sarvadhatuke yaka iti sutram asti. Take that sutram and bring the entire anuvritti of setasil rulutoho. Obviously bhava karmanoho is there anuvritti anyway. So the whole sutra anuvritti sahitam sutram kim bhavati bhava karmanoho sarvadhatuke yak syatasil rulutoho. So make one full sutram like this by anuvritti. And now the meaning of the sutra is clear. Bhave prayoge karmani prayoge sarvadhatuke pratyeye pare लुट लकारे स्य लुट लकारे तास अन्यत्र सर्वत्र yak is as simple as that. Is like two whatever two sthanis are given, two adeshas are given, and a third fallback adesha is given, something like this. So bhava karmanoho vishaye sarvadhatuke pratyeye pare स्य इति विकरण प्रत्ययः लुट् लकारस्य विषये तास इति विकरण प्रत्ययः लुट् लकारस्य विषये yak iti vikarana pratyaya anyatra sarvatra. So that's exactly what you say. You bring in anuvritti, the precise anuvrittis, and you don't need to worry about badhya badhaka bhava. So lut lakarasya vishayasya pratyaya, lut lakarasya vishay tas pratyaya, anyatra yak pratyaya bhavati. So if you have, now pick up any example, say patha plus karmanil ruta, patha plus karmani shanacha, you anyway have a ruta pratyaya. So there is no question of whether it is a yaka, whether it is a shapa, blah blah blah. It's simple analysis of having sya pratyaya, because sya pratyaya for ruta, tas pratyaya for luta, yaka pratyaya everywhere else. Similarly, do the same thing for kartari shapa, divadibhyashan, swadibhyashnu, sarvatra. So in all the remaining sutras, do precise anuvrittis. Kartari shapa ityatra, there is anuvritti of sarvadhatuka already. Bring in anuvritti of setasil rulutoho. So it will be sarvadhatuke kartari shap setasil rulutoho. सेम मीनिंग सार्वधातुक प्रत्यय अस्ति चेत कर्तरि प्रयोगे लुट् लकारे स्य लुट् लकारे तास अन्यत्र शप. So if you now have patha plus kartari lruta, lrut becomes shatru because it is lrut lakara. The sutra itself will tell lrut lakare sya, so you will get a sya. As simple as that. You don't have to worry. This is the simplest solution. Similarly, divadibhyashana. So all other cases you do anuvrittis accordingly. So what is the siddhanta? Vikarana pratyayeshu badhya badhaka bhavaha naiva vidyate. भिन्नेषु सूत्रेषु आवश्यकानि सूत्राणि अनुवृत्ति रूपेण स्वीकृत्य यथोचितं प्रत्यय विधानं भवितुम् अर्हति. So that is the second explanation. In this particular explanation, the same thing, all the vikarana pratyayas are applied at the same point after the ladeshas. The same hypothesis is being used, but there is no utsargapavada sambandha. So there is a question over here. Can you explain how is yak everywhere else? Give me 1 minute. So the question is, how can you explain how is this yak pratyay being everywhere else? So everywhere else in the sense wherever it's not. So in general, in the bhava karmani sense, when the sarvadhatuka pratyay is coming, say lat lakara, say lang lakara, in the karmani prayoga we anyway have yaka. So yaka is anyway coming everywhere. In case of rut lakara, it will be sya. So if you want to do patha, rut lakara, in karmani prayoga, there will be no yaka, which is exactly what is the correct form. Patha, rut lakara, in the bhava karmani sense is patishate. There is only sya pratyay coming over there. That's what is clarified over here. Sad bhava karmanoho vishaye yaka pratyayah sarvatra bhavati parantu rut lakarasya vishayasya pratyayah lut lakarasya vishay tas pratyayah. Similarly, shap pratyaya sarvatra bhavati. Again, now that when you say kartari shapa, it's basically the relation, the utsarga pavada relationship between shapa and shana will continue to remain. So kartari shapa ityanena utsargika rupena shap pratyay prapte tatra apavada rupena divadibhyah shan iti shan bhavati. But that sutra also gets rewritten as sarvadhatuke divadibhyah shanasya tasil lutoho. So divadi ganasya dhatunam vishaye sarvadhatuka lakara asti, sarvadhatuka pratyay asti chet स्य इति लृट् लकारस्य विषये तास इति लुट् लकारस्य विषये अन्यत्र सर्वत्र शन. अनेन प्रकारेण अत्र अनुवृत्तिरूपेण यथोचितं प्रत्ययविधानं भवति. This is the second explanation. This also relies on the fact that the vikarana pratyayas are attached at the same time after the ladeshas. The third samadhanam, as I mentioned, flips the order. It says the vikarana pratyayas must be attached earlier, before the ladeshas. So you have patha plus lrutta. Before lrutta becomes a shanacha or shatru, whatever, you must you must add the sya vikarana pratyay over there. So atra tritiyah kaschana margah asti. The third option, अस्यां पद्धतौ स्यतासील लुटोः इति सूत्रे आयादय आर्धधातुके वा इत्यतः आर्धधातुके इत्यस्य अनुवृत्ति करिष्यते. Look at this. स्यतासील लुटोः इति सूत्रे 3133. Syatasil rulutoho, this sutra brings the ardha dhatuke as an anuvrutti over here. So now what will it mean? It will mean that the sya and the tas pratyas are used only in the ardha dhatuka sense, and shap and all others are used in the sarva dhatuka sense. So you explicitly delimit the application of lrutta and lutta in the ardha dhatuka sense and make others applicable in the sarva dhatuka sense. So here in setasil lutoho ayaday ardhatuke va ityataha ardhatuke ityasya anuvrutti bhavati, which means ardhatuke pratyay pare sya vikarana pratyaya sarvadhatuke pratyay pare yak shap shan whatever are there will come. So now what happens is, in a case like patha plus lrutta, the sya pratyaya can come immediately because you have an ardhadhatuka pratyaya sitting right there. Lut is an ardhadhatuka pratyaya. Because ardhadhatuka is now coming as an anuvrutti in setasil ruluto, in case of patha plus lutta, even before lutta gets converted to stipa, sya can immediately crawl in because you already have an ardhadhatuka pratyaya over there. In other words, sya is now antaranga as against the other one. Alpapeksham antarang, alpapekshatuam antarangam, bhavapekshatuam bahirangam. So the sya pratyaya has little expectation. It doesn't expect anything. It sees patha and plus ruta and it comes. So that is alpapeksha. Alpa means lesser. Comparatively, it has lesser expectation. In patha plus ruta, it in fact doesn't have any expectation. It will immediately come in. But shap and others have an additional expectation that ruta has to be first converted to tibadis. So shapa can only come with one expectation of conversion. Only when the conversion is happening, shap can come. So shapa has one expectation, whereas sya has no expectations. There is already an ardhadhatuka pratyaya. It can quietly enter. So now the rut, in case of patha plus ruta, syadis immediately become antaranga. So syadayah pratyayah shabadinam apekshaya antarangaha bhavanti. Shabadayah sarvadhatukam apekshante te bahirangaha bhavanti. Ataha patha plus ruta इत्यत्र लृट इति अवस्थायामेव आर्धधातुक प्रत्ययस्य उपस्थितौ अंतरंगात् और अंतरंगत्वात् तिबादीनां विधानात् पूर्वमेव स्यादयः प्रत्ययाः संभवन्ति. अतः लावस्थायामेव स्यादयः सार्वधातुके शन्नादयः और शबादयः इति सिद्धान्तः. So the तृतीय समाधान, it relies on the antaranga bahiranga relationship between the sya and shapa. It says sya and other lakar, all the lakara vikarana pratyayas, whatever 10 of them in the first column, they are all antarangas. The gana vikarana pratyayas are all bahirangas, and therefore even before the tibadis come, the lakara pratyayas, if they can, they will come. So this is the third samadhanam. Lakara vikarana pratyaya ladeshebhyah purvam bhavanti. Vishyannadayah or shabadayah ladeshebhyah anantaram bhavanti. So these are the three siddhantas in three columns. first Siddhanta and second Siddhanta, they have a common theme that the Vikarana Pratyayas are attached after the Ladeshas. The third Siddhanta, because of its Antaranga Bahiranga nature, it says Lakara Vikarana Pratyayas are before Ladeshas, Gana Vikarana Pratyayas are after Ladeshas. In the first Siddhanta, we have a detailed Utsargapavada relationship. Yak and Shap Pratyayas are Utsargas, Syadis are Apavadas, and the Shanadayas are Adeshas of Shabab. In the second Siddhanta, he says he gives the same conclusion, but there is no Badhya Badhaka Bhava. It's just purely the power of Anuvrittis that solves the problem. And in the third one, I mentioned it's Antaranga versus Bahiranga that solves the problem. Sorry. As I mentioned in the beginning, the first, if you look at the Bhashya in details, first and the second Siddhanta are put forth by the Vartikakara, and Bhashyakara has justified them with certain arguments. The third Siddhanta is proposed by Bhashyakara himself, and therefore it is recommended, certified by Nagesha. So this is the actual Bhashya. Now I don't want to go in the details of the Bhashya. I have eaten the brains of all of you enough. I think, I mean, to be honest, this is extremely complex. That is the reason in the previous class I was completely planning to avoid this and just present this table. So the original plan was just to give this table, not even this table, just the Siddhanta number 3, and tell you that it is proposed by Nagesha. But this session was in our fate, so we had that internet problem last time. But thankfully, I was able to explain all these three pakshas for those of you who are interested in advanced grammar studies. So this is the bhashya. I don't want to go in the details, but I have highlighted the three pakshas. The first paksha says Shabadeha Shannadeha Karishyante. The second paksha says Anuvritti related, and the third paksha says Antarangaha Syadeha. So these three pakshas have been demonstrated over here. I've also explained the Nagesha's explanation. So why does Nagesha propose or prefer the third one? So in the third one, let's look at this yellow part only. Apavada vipratishedat shanadibhi syadi badhanam. So first two pakshas. Iti vartikokta purva pakshasya तन्मतानुसारेण समाधान द्वयम् उक्त्वा अथवा इति तृतीयं समाधानं भगवता उक्तम्. So in these lines, Nagesha clarifies that the first two solutions are just in order to make the Vartikakara happy, whereas the third solution is actually given by the Bhashyakara. Somebody is asking, where is it all exactly written in the Bhashya? It's right over here. Setasil Ruluto Ho 3133. I mean, I have been discussing this sutra again and again. All this is discussed in, look at this. There is a Setasil Ruluto Ho Sutram over here. This part, entire first line to last line, ime vikaranaha pathyante tatra na jnayate, and so on. So that's exactly what is being written, ime vikaranaha pathyante tatra na jnayate. So I don't have time and I don't want to bug you with all these explanation again, but go over this. It is extremely condensed. It is okay if you do not understand this particular point just by reading the bhasha. I had to actually sit down, do paper and pencil work 3 times, 4 times, and then I was able to understand it. And that is the reason now that I have spent one last full class or 1 hour in explaining all three pakshas. I hope I have simplified the things for you, and you will be able to understand it in better. Now, somebody is very beautifully pointing one aspect. I was about to talk that class number 17, where I actually discussed one of these solutions. So I actually discussed the third option in class number 17. Very nice. One of our volunteers actually pointed me to this. I was about to explain that. So all the way in the beginning of our course, we have discussed these particular point in class number 17 when we discussed the Vikarana Pratyayas. I have pointed these things out, but it was too early in our course and it was not practical for me to show all these arguments. Otherwise, everybody would have ran out from the class. So I have only presented the Siddhanta. I only gave the what is the final Siddhanta as per the Nagesha, When it is Gana Vikarana Pratyaya, it is after the Ladeshas. When it is Lakara Vikarana Pratyayas, it is before the Ladeshas. So that is the Siddhanta according to the Nagesha. That's exactly what I explained long ago in class number 17. And now that somebody is pointing, uh, it's going to take me 5 more minutes, but let me anyway explain, because somebody thankfully asked this question. So if you go to this Setasil Rulutoho and if you go to Siddhanta Kaumudi, Kaumudikara says Shabadyapavadaha. And explanation of Shabadyapavadaha has been very confusing. Balamanorama gives the explanation which is related to Kayyata. So what Kayyata says, the first paksha, which I outrightly rejected in class number 17, and I said it's completely incorrect. That is one paksha that is presented in Bala Manorama. Siddhanta Kaumudi, when it says Shabadyapavada, it can be interpreted in multiple ways. Nagesha in Bruhat Shabdendu Shekhara interprets Shabadyapavadaha in his own way, which is also there in class number 17. Class number 17 is worth listening after this, at least the last part of class number 17. Please, listen it once again if you have not recollected it, or if you have not listened it in near past. So this Shapadyapavadaha, you can, interpret it in the Balamanorama style, which is not certified by Nagesha, or you can interpret it in the Nagesha style. Either way, the interpretation of Shabadyapavada is possible. So that's what I was saying. Nagesha clearly says in the second, I mean, the first one, he doesn't give any explanation. For the second, he clarifies that there is no Utsargapapada relationship. It's all purely by the power of Anuvrittis. And in the third, he says this particular solution is Bhashyakara's own solution. The first two solutions, वार्तिकोक्त पूर्व पक्षस्य तन्मतानुसारेण समाधान द्वयम् उक्त्वा अथवा इति तृतीयं समाधानं भगवता uktam. So the Bhagavan Bhashyakara has told the third samadhana, that is what is being prescribed by Nagesha. So all those who would like to want to call themselves as Navya Vaiyakarana prefer this. All those who want to call would like themselves to be called as Prachinas prefer what Kayyata has said. Kayyata has actually given some very interesting Swara related arguments for supporting the first of the choice. So Kayyata says we have to select the first choice because in the remaining two choices some Swaras get messed up. Some anudatta swara becomes udatta, some udatta becomes anudatta, so swara become messed up in this second and third. So the first has to be chosen is what Kayyata says. Nagesha has his own explanations on choosing the third. Again, I'm going way beyond what I should teach in this course, but the just let's stop at this point by saying that Kayyata prescribes the first one. Dikshita says Shabadyapavadaha. That Shabadyapavadaha is interpreted by Balamanorma in a completely different way, which has been not in resonance with Nagesha. Nagesha interprets it in completely different way. And when you compare Balamanorma with Nagesha, you have to give just or weight to Nagesha. So if it does not resonate with Nagesha, you can always say that this is not the correct approach. When you compare Kayyata with Nagesha, probably you have choice to decide whether I want to choose go favor Kayyata or favor Nagesha. But essentially, Nagesha chooses the third of these choices. And therefore, when we are writing the Prakriya, this is the last slide, but there are a few more things I want to discuss. When we are writing the Prakriya, assuming we are going to follow Nagesha's style, you have to do the Rut Pratyaya Vidhanam first, which is say Vacha plus Ruta. Then you do Sya Vikarana Pratyaya Vidhanam, Vacha plus Sya plus Ruta, and then you convert Ruta to Shatru plus Shanacha. So Vacha plus Sya plus Shatru plus Shanacha, then you do all the Sya related Prakriya, which is out of our scope of our course because it is basically part of Tinganta Prakriya. So I don't want to go in the details. Finally, you will get the effective final form. If you want to, follow Kayyata's Paksha or Balamanorma's Paksha, you can flip step number 6 and step number 5. You can do Rutsheshecha, then Rutasadva, and then Setasil Rulutoho. That's why on this slide, it's explicitly written, this is Nagesha Puraskrutaha Bhashya Siddhantaha. You cannot say it is Bhashya Siddhanta because all three are Bhashya Siddhantas according to Bhashyakara. But what Nagesha tells us is this is the correct Bhashya Siddhanta. Other are only the extensions of the Vartikas. So that's it. With this, we finally complete the sheet number 7 of Uttara Kridanta, something that was expected to be completed last week, but we completed it over here today. So with this, we complete sheet number 7, Bhavishyat Kala Nirdeshaka. Here are the exercises for today. First question, Adho Dattani Mithya Vakyani. Please don't disconnect because there is some very important announcement. So just after the exercises, I want to do that announcement. So Adho Dattani Mithya Vakyani Parivartya Sadhurupena Likhata. 5 wrong statements are there. You change them and write them correctly. And second, Setasil Rulutoho Ityatra Nirdishtam Treen Bhashya Siddhantan Sanchepena Vivrunuta. So you don't have to write pages after pages, just two lines, three lines for each siddhanta. That's it, that is expected over here. So I think that is all from my side today. The first announcement is that there is no session tomorrow. We will meet once again in the next week. So Shvaha Vargaha Nasti. That's a smaller announcement. I have a bigger announcement, but I'll come to that. So Shvaha Vargaha Nasti. Agrima Saptahe Vargaha Bhavishyati. In the next class also, we have only one class on Thursday morning. In the next week also, we do not have a class on Friday morning. So no class tomorrow and again one class in the next week. Now comes something really interesting. If you have noticed, the next class is going to be the auspicious 108th class of our course. Just give me 1 minute. Yes, so somebody actually asked me what is the deal with the Karishyataha Apatyam at the beginning of the class. Yes, I'm coming to that. That's what the announcement is related to. Give me 5 minutes. So the next class is going to be 108th class of our course. It's an auspicious number, and first of all, congratulations to you all. You all have stick through 108 classes with such an advanced discussion on Vyakarana. Now, what I want to do is, because this is a special 108th class, I don't want to continue discussing the coursework that we are doing. We have finished sheet number 7. We'll start with sheet number 8, 9, and so on. It will happen during the due course. I don't want to do that. I want to do something different. I want to actually celebrate this class in a slightly different, in a slightly intellectually inspiring manner. In this class, we will study together a Vakyartha on let us Shatru Shanachava Prathama Samanadhikarane. So we are on the topic of Shatru and Shanaj. There was a question right now over here. What is the deal with Karishataha Patyam and Karishat Bhakti and all that? All that is thankfully beautifully explained in this Vakyartha called Latashatru of the Sutram Latashatru Shanachava Prathama Samanadhikarane. So everything is actually, all the dots are now getting connected. So we will discuss a Vakyartha. What is a Vakyartha? Some of you might know, some of you might not know. Vakyartha is a traditional style of discourse, debate, arguments between the Purva Pakshas and Uttara Pakshas that is very commonly done in the traditional study of Sanskrit grammar. So this Vakyartha, many of you might have heard, might have attended. I don't know if anybody of you have participated, but definitely attended, heard Vakyarthas. So this particular Vakyartha is from a Vakyartha Sabha called Mahaganapati Vakyartha Sabha, which is the most prestigious Vakyartha Sabha. It happens in front of the Jagadguru Shankaracharya of the Dakshina Pitha, and only the scholars in the Vyakarana Shastra, the great names, like Soti Nagaraja, Mahabaleshwar Bhatta, and so on, these are allowed to participate in this Vakyartha. So people like us cannot even participate. Only the scholars, big names of Vyakarana Shastra are allowed to participate and do the discourse, do that debate in front of the Shrungeri Acharya. So one such Vakyartha, these Vakyarthas, their transcripts or their, arguments are available in the PDF form. So one such Vakyartha on the topic that we are currently discussing, the Shatru and Shanach Pratyayas, and it closely relates to Karishyata Patyam and Karishyat Bhakti and so on. That particular Vakyartha is available in print in PDF format. This PDF of the Vakyartha I will share with the group in 2 days. It is not simple. It is extremely complex to read and understand it. But still, please spare some time to read the Vakyartha and understand at least some part of it. Even if you understand 5% of it, it is good enough. But don't come blank. Read it twice, thrice, 4 times, and then come during the actual class. I will present that PDF on the screen. The PDF will be shared with you all. It's just a 5-page intense PDF because these Vakyarthas are not written in simple Sanskrit. I mean, even a person who has done MA in Sanskrit won't be able to understand these Vakyarthas because these are written using extremely technical Navya Nyaya language. It is as if asking an English MA person to read a quantum mechanics book, which is in English. He won't be able to understand it because there are so many complex equations and terms in that book. In the same way, this Vakyartha is written in complex Navya Nyaya language. I don't expect you all to understand it more than 10%, but that 10% is critical. So during the actual class, I will read the Vakyartha line by line. I will explain it in English and simple Sanskrit. The Vakyartha is quite complex to understand, and hence a pre-reading is mandatory before attending the class. So why I am doing it? So there are two key goals of this particular session. First is all of you who have been sticking through the grammar class, an advanced grammar class. This Krudanta Prakaranam is definitely one of the advanced grammar classes on Vyoma portal. We have equally advanced classes, but this is definitely one of the advanced ones. So if you are sticking throughout this course, then you definitely have an inclination, have an interest in Vyakarana Shastra, and it is my responsibility to make sure you find a way further to nurture it. So I want to introduce all of you to this amazing world of Vakyarthas. And if you like the session next time, we will form a separate group and we'll keep on discussing these Vakyarthas, once every month, once every 2 months, and so on. I'll maybe circulate PDF to the interested people. We can read, come together and discuss those Vakyarthas. Immense amount of learning will be done even for the Navya Nyaya language. Forget about the subject, but even for the language of discourse, you will be able to learn a lot of things. So that is the first thing, introducing all the students of our course to this amazing world of Vakyarthas, and then of course get deeper insight in the bhashya of Lata Shatrusana Chava Pratama Samanadhikarane, answering that question of Karishat Bhakti and Karishata and so on. So that Karishat Bhakti and so on is like one part of that Vakyartha. Many other things will be discussed in this Lata Shatrusana Chava Pratama Samanadhikarane Vakyartha. So I strongly encourage you all to please read that particular Vakyartha. I'll send the PDF in 2 days and come prepared for the next class. Next Thursday, we will have a discussion of this particular Vakyartha. Friday again, there will be no class. And then in the week after that, we will continue with our regular sheet number 8, Bhavadhikara. So that's it from my side. I'm already over 3 minutes of the regular schedule. So samapayamaha agrima saptahe vakyarthasya adhyayana samaye avashyam agamyatam iti prarthaye. अष्टाध्यायी जगन्माता यस्य चित्ताः समुत्थिता वेदानामुपकाराय तस्मै पाणिनये नमः शब्दब्रह्म समाराध्य कृतवान् यो विलक्षणं सर्वाश्चर्यमिदं शास्त्रं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः येन धौता गिरः पुंसां विमलैः शब्दवारिभिः तमश्चाज्ञानजं भिन्नं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः. धन्यवादः.